Good afternoon, commissioners, ex officios, and staff. I assume you can get a thumbs up that everything's good before I start.
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking into a screen, so the acknowledgement helps. Um, Again, my name is Tony Hughes. I'm the interim agent in charge of the Regulation Enforcement Unit. The reason why I'm here today is give you the annual report on Self Exclusion Program. With that, I will get started. Next slide, please. Just as a refresher, the state self-exclusion program began on May 1st, 2022. So we're just over 2 years into the program. Since that time, we've had over 900 people enroll into the program. And just for your awareness, our staff does annual compliance inspections at all the house bank card rooms just to make sure everything's progressing as needed. Next slide. And some of the timetables I'll be using, obviously this is an annual report. We start on May 1st, 2022. So some of the numbers we're using is from May 1st, 2023 through April 30th, 2024. So the numbers you see on the screen are as effective as of May 1st, 2024. On May 1st, 2024, we had 926 participants in the self-exclusion program, which is a 91% increase from May 1st, 2023, where we had 484. And then the number of participants in each time period, as a quick refresher, when a person enrolls into the self-exclusion program, they have 4 options. They can select a 1, 3, 5, or 10-year period. So out of that 926, 302 selected a 1-year term, 145 selected a 3-year term, 103 selected a 5-year, and 376 selected the 10-year term. As of May 1st, 2024, we had 157 people on the list that was eligible to come off the list because their term expired. So obviously that was 2 years into the program. Those are persons that selected a 1-year term. Out of the 157, 85 have chose to remove themselves from the list, and 72 chose to remain on the list. As also we do track how many incidents we have over that 12-month period to just how many incidents we've had people identify, how many people on the self-exclusion list have been identified at house bank card rooms. During that 12-month period, we had 133 incidents where people on the list were identified at card rooms. That's 35 more than last year at this time, or on May 1st. Examples of how excluded persons were identified. They were identified at the door by security officers that use a scanning device, or they were recognized in the bar or restaurant by staff or gambling at tables. For that same time period, out of those number of incidents, funds were confiscated 56 times. That's 16 more incidents than last year. When those funds are confiscated, they are forwarded to the healthcare authority. And for that time period, May 1st, 23 through April 30th, 24, $31,402 were forwarded to the healthcare authority, which is a slight decrease from last year or the year previous, which was $38,840.50. Because I mentioned at the beginning, we do ongoing compliance inspections at the card rooms, and one of the inspections we do is on self-exclusion. For 2024, we do that. We've already done it for 2024 earlier in the year to prepare for the annual report. On those inspections, we verify compliance with training, enrolling persons, monitoring, preventing participants, and confidentiality. Agents out in the field work with the card rooms to gain compliance, and just some of the things that were noted during compliance inspections, just things that we had to work with licensees with. Annual retraining did not occur as required, and the initial training for new staff did not occur within 3 days, which are requirements in the WAC. And then the list, an updated self-exclusion list wasn't provided to the necessary staff within 48 hours. So that's just some examples, some of what agents noted during their inspections and worked with licensees to gain compliance. The self-exclusion measurables. We do track how many enrollment forms that come in that are either denied or incomplete. During that time period of that 12-month period, we had 22 that came in that were not complete. And then we work with the person or the card room that submitted the form to make that complete, and we got that down to 8. Some examples of why that form is denied or incomplete. It wasn't notarized when it was submitted. The participant failed to complete the form fully or did not sign the form, or the house bank card room didn't complete their portion completely. We do have an administrator for the self-exclusion program. She works directly with the person or the card room to make that form complete. So we do work to, if we do receive a form that's denied or incomplete, we do our best to get that completed. And just to recognize Rochelle, she's our self-exclusion administrator. She does a great job doing that. So thanks to Rochelle on that. For that same 12-month period, how many participants attempted to remove themselves from the program? We had 19, and these are persons that are on the list that are not eligible to come off the list just because of the timing of the time period they selected. So we had 19 during that time period. The reasons why they wanted to remove themselves from the list, when they enrolled, they believed that exclusion only applied to the one specific card room. They didn't realize that it was statewide. They were intoxicated. There was a language barrier, or simply they just didn't want to be on the list anymore. And how participants enroll into the program, just as a quick refresher as well. There is 4 ways to enroll into the program. You can enroll at, a person could enroll at any house bank card room across the state. They can mail in the enrollment form with it being notarized. They can also mail in the same form with it, with the signature of a problem gambling counselor. And then lastly, they could also come in person to the Lacey office. And this is just a breakdown of how people enrolled. 81% enrolled at house bank card rooms, 81% or 754 people, 12% or 108 mailed in their enrollment form with a notary, 6% or 56 came to the office, and 1% or 8 submitted their form with a signature of a problem gambling counselor. And that is annual report for self-exclusion, and open for questions.
Great, thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Commissioner Sizemore?
Hi, Tony. Any recommendations from staff on any changes to our program?
Through staff, no, we constantly, we get feedback, of course, and we look at it. We have a group that meets monthly to discuss things as they arise. But nothing on the horizon at this point. I'll just put it that way.